Ryan Jarrell here for LowKick MMA, and my next guest picked up a monster last-second KO win over Leonardo Santos last Saturday at UFC Vegas 22. And of course, it's Grant Dawson back on the show. Grant, how are you?
Fantastic, man. Never better. Just enjoying the dream and enjoying the win.
Yeah, huge win. And man, I didn't see that coming. You landed those crazy hammer fists, and he just went out. Could you tell? I think after the first hammer fist, it looked like he was really rocked. Could you tell that you may be able to finish the fight?
Yeah, I wasn't even trying to knock him out. Like that's like movie stuff. I was trying to get a 10-8 round. Like there was only 10 seconds left. I don't think he could have submit me in 10 seconds. So I just wanted to go crazy, maybe get some good shots in and wobble him a little bit and make the judges give me a better round. So that's what the game plan was. And then I hit him, and I didn't even hit him that hard, but I saw his head kind of hit the mat. I was like, okay, let's get one more in. And I saw his eyes roll back, and then his mouthpiece pop out. And that last one I hit him with was probably the hardest punch I've ever hit anybody in my life with. It was insane.
Yeah, I mean, it landed flush too. What did James Krause say to you before the third round? Because there's been a lot of reports and really just of how phenomenal of a coach he is. What did he tell you to really motivate you to get in there and put on that amazing performance in the third?
Basically, he just told me that we don't know where it is. It could be 1-1. I personally had scored it 1-1 going into the third. And so just winning the third round was enough for me. But James is always pushing for the finish, and he's always pushing to not leave it in the hands of the judges. The decision right before my fight was a bad decision. The guy who won the fight ended up losing the fight. He lost his undefeated record, and he looked really good. Other than the third round, he looked really good in the fight. So, you never know what the judges are thinking. Turns out I was up, 2-0. But like I said, I was just trying to make that round an even bigger scored round and ended up getting the finish, high risk, high reward.
Yeah, it was a close fight. I had you winning, but it was close. Was there anything during the fight that surprised you that maybe you weren't expecting, or was it a harder fight than maybe you thought it was going to be?
I wouldn't say it was a harder fight than I thought it was going to be. It was just a different fight than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be really hard to get him on the cage. I thought it was going to be really hard to, get the takedown. And it was really easy to get him on the cage, and I couldn't get the takedown. And then when I did get the takedown, keeping him down, I thought was going to be really hard. And it was when I finally got him down, it was easy to keep him down. So it wasn't any harder than I thought it was going to be. It was just different than what I thought it was going to be. And, it was a really big learning experience for me and a growing experience for me. And that's always invaluable fights when you can walk away from a fight with a win and a list of things that you need to work on. That is so important, because usually you have to walk away from a fight with a loss to learn those lessons.
So can you run me through the list? What are those lessons? Because I think the average fan out there would say, what does Grant really have to improve on? He keeps winning inside of the octagon, and you just picked up 50 grand for performance of the night with this big win, man. So what is it that you're taking away that you really have to try and improve on moving into your next fight?
I have to set up my shots better. So when I was shooting in at 145, I could take really bad shots, but I was so much stronger and bigger than the guys that I was fighting, and wearing on them was easier. So I got to set up my shots better, and I got to chain my shots together better. I'm a really good chain wrestler. My first shot is usually terrible, and my chain wrestling is really good. And I felt like I didn't do that very well in this fight. So I need to make the shot better by using my hands more. I don't know why, but when I get in there, I have this like non-belief in my power in my hands. And if you watch the fight, my best moments in the fight were when I was striking. So I need to use that to set up the shots better, not just taking crappy shots because I'm stronger than everybody else. I feel like I'm just as strong as these guys, but when that strength is equal, the technique has to be superior.
What does this win signify to the rest of the division? What does it say about Grant Dawson as a fighter?
Man, for me, this shows that I don't have to be in control 24/7 to win the fight. I'm known for winning every second of every round. I've won each round, and so far in the UFC, no judge has unanimously given a round to another opponent. It's always been 30-27s, and then 1-29-28. So, you know, if you have two judges that say you won the round and one judge that say you lost the round, you won that round. That's how it works. If you have two judges that say your opponent won the fight and one judge saying you won the fight, your opponent wins that fight, right? So that means that I've won every single round in the UFC in my career right now. And although it didn't look that way, you know, I showed that even through adversity, I can find a finish, and you have to take me seriously all the way from bell to bell.
Is this the most gratifying win of your career?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, you know. It's funny. I fought a man named Justin Weaver in my amateur career. He was my very first amateur fight, and he was my very last amateur fight. And I remember how nervous and scared I was to fight him. And then when I went out there and I beat him both times, like, I was just so happy with myself. And I haven't really felt that since, you know, because I've been working towards this goal so hard. And then last night, you know, on Saturday night, getting that win by something that I thought I didn't have, knockout power, you know, a true unconscious, can't remember where you are knockout. It was definitely something that just made my day, made my night, made this whole career worth it.
Yeah. And you got the 50 G's to boot, man, for performance of the night. I mean, what are you going to do with that? You're just going to bank it? Maybe hope you get a little bit more?
I'm looking to buy a house. I'm gonna buy a house, and then the rest of it I'm gonna put into Bitcoin probably.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's just gotta feel so good, man, to know that you're really just making a huge splash and a huge statement in the lightweight division. Did you feel after that last second KO win that, you know, maybe I'm in line to get a bonus here? Or did you think, well, I'm not quite sure. It went in the third round. There might be some other people that they might give it to instead of me.
No, as soon as the ref called the fight, before I even hugged James, I knew I was getting 50 G's. I knew, like, I hit him, I saw his eyes roll back into his head, and I thought, I'm gonna win this fight by knockout. And then I thought, I'm gonna get 50 G's. Let's go. In my fight before this, I fought Nadnar Armani, and at the beginning of the fight, I kicked his leg and I fell over. And as I'm falling over, I looked to get up, and he rushes at me, so I threw a flying knee. And in midair, I could see that my knee was going to land right on his chin. And I thought, I'm going to knock him out, and I'm going to get 50 grand for doing that. And then I hit him straight on the chin, and he didn't go down. And I was like, dang it. But so we got it this one. And I knew. And the commentators, you can't see on TV, but the commentators were like, you're definitely going to get it. Like,
Yeah.
so I knew I was going to get it. And I'm super happy they did the right thing.
Well, congratulations on all the success there and the huge win. What was the post-fight celebration like? Did you guys just go out to dinner, low key? Like, what did you guys do afterwards?
We went back to the hotel room. We ordered 3 pizzas, and I think we watched Harry Potter. So that was about it. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink alcohol. I don't like to party, and we really couldn't leave the hotel anyway. So it was pizza and Harry Potter.
Hey man, pizza's my thing. What's your go-to for pizza? Do you have like a certain type, whether it's like Pizza Hut or Domino's or something back home? And what do you like? I'm a meat guy, so pepperoni, I'm good.
So pepperoni's my favorite. I grew up on pepperoni. My three favorites are Pizza Hut, just because I grew up on it, and then Casey's Pizza is actually so delicious to me. I love Casey's Pizza. We had a Casey's in the town where I grew up. It was a really small town, and we had a Casey's, and they made really great pizza. So I love Casey's Pizza. And then the freezer pizzas, I like Jack's. I like the Jack's pizzas that take like 12 minutes to make. They're so good. I might go have one. I got a bunch in my fridge. You got me thinking about Jack's now. And
Geez,
so
you might have to get a pizza sponsorship, man, right? I mean, if you're a pizza guy, it'd be nice to be sponsored by a pizza place.
I'll take it, but then we're moving up to 70.
Yeah. Well, everything in moderation, right? What did Coach Kraus tell you afterwards, man? Like how impressed, how pleased was he with, you know, everything that you came through in that fight and getting that big win?
Yeah, he's always proud of me. He's always happy as long as I, try my hardest and never give up. He's never going to be upset with me or disappointed with me. And I definitely think that, we know we have some things that we need to work on. And I think that's been the focus, enjoy the win. That he's really bad at enjoying his own wins and enjoying he's not an in the moment type of guy. He's always a look to the future type of guy. And so am I. I'm a guy that always like, okay, what's next? We got to get that belt. What's next? Okay, we got to get that belt. What's next? And so, being older than me and kind of realizing what that does, it's one of your best assets and it's one of your worst. You got to enjoy the little things. And so he's really been trying to get me to just be like, hey, man, you got the big win. Go have some McDonald's and just enjoy life, spend time with your girlfriend, look at new houses, like just chill like a bit, and so that's what I'm really trying to do this week. I got stitches in my head, so I can't even train even though I want to. And yeah, I'm trying to enjoy the little things right now. I think there's 3 keys to happiness, and enjoying the little things is one of them.
Yeah, very well said. I completely agree. I just interviewed TJ Brown a couple of days ago, and he raved just about how good you are and how good he expects you to be as your career unfolds. He said to me that you're one of the absolute best grapplers he's ever been around. And I'm sure he said this something similar to you. How did your confidence feel, going into this fight, knowing that you're getting that kind of feedback from your teammates, your training partners?
Yeah, I definitely think that I'm one of the best grapplers in the division. I definitely think that MMA wise, like I'm not credentialed wrestling wise. I got 6th place my senior year at state. That's not great. I'm not credentialed. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Like these aren't really great credentials, but I am a 4th degree black belt in MMA grappling. Everything that I do from wrestling season all the way up until now has been based on how to be good at MMA grappling, not how to be good at jiu-jitsu, how to be good at wrestling, how to be good at MMA grappling. That's the sport that I'm in. And to hear that come from, especially a guy like TJ, who is a fellow brown belt, he's in the UFC, he's a very, very accomplished grappler. To hear him say that just means the world to me. Like I get to train with the same guys every single day, so they kind of grew up around me, getting better, and I'm just a normal guy to them. So to have, TJ, he's doing his camps with us, he's coming in and he's saying these nice things about me, just means I'm doing something right, and it means the absolute world to me because he's a beast, man. He's so good.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping the best for him here in his upcoming fight. He's just a great guy inside and outside of the cage. You know what, Grant? The last time we spoke I asked you to play matchmaker for the lightweight division, and now, boom, here we have the title fight. Khabib has retired. We got a title fight between Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira. Who wins it, man? Who do you think is going to be the new champ?
Michael Chandler is going to win that belt, and I don't even think it's going to be close. I like Charles Oliveira, but he does not have the style to beat Chandler. If he does win, it will be by a lucky punch. I don't think he can submit Chandler, and I don't think that he can take Chandler down. I could see him getting lucky with some straight. He's got crisp straight punches. Sorry, I can't talk today. And I could see that, playing a factor, but I think he's going to walk forward and run right into that overhand right and get knocked unconscious. Chandler will be the new champion. And then Chandler is going to fight Dustin. He's going to beat Dustin. And then Chandler's going to fight Islam. And that's the fight I'm not sure about.
Wow. Okay. Well, either way, there's so many great fights here in the lightweight division moving forward. Have you ever thought about when the time comes and you retire from fighting, or hey, maybe you're not even retired, maybe you're still actually competing, maybe joining the desk next to your friend Laura Sanko and doing some analysis work?
I would absolutely love to do that. I think that I'm a very good speaker. I think that I have a very, very deep understanding of the sport, and I think that I can share that with a lot of people. My only hesitation to doing that and pursuing that and to trying that out is I am dyslexic. I have dyslexia, and it's really difficult for me to read. I can read. I just have to read super slow and sound each word out. So that's the one thing that scares me about it is there's a lot of reading involved, and it's easy for me to get confused when it's just reading, and I don't want to make a mistake like that. It's something that I'll have to look into, and I've wanted to do for a long time because I love the sport and I love talking and I love, that aspect of it. But it's something that I'm going to have to kind of work my way into. Maybe try with a smaller show and see how I do.
Well, I can tell you from the outside looking in, if nobody knew that you had dyslexia, I don't think that they would think that you do. You speak very well. I think you'd fit in just fine. So who knows what the future holds? Let's talk about that Clay Guida call out, man. Where did that come from? I got to be honest, I was surprised that you're calling out Clay Guida. I thought maybe you were going to call out someone that might be a little bit closer to that top 15, someone that's in their actual prime. Not saying that Guida is not a great matchup. He's a legend, but he is a little bit longer in the tooth. How did that whole call out come about?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that are telling me that's not the fight. And first and foremost, I want to say that y'all don't get to decide, and I don't mean you, but y'all telling me that I should be doing this or I should be doing that. I got here not listening to you people, and I'm going to continue to stay here by not listening to you people. I want to be a guy that has legends under his belt, and Clay Guida is one of the guys that I've been wanting to fight for a long time. I fought at 55 outside the UFC, and I thought that someday me and Clay would fight. Then Clay went down to 145, and I was like, well, that fight's never happening. Then I decided to go down to 145, and that was a fight we were trying to hunt. Clay goes back up to 55. I was like, well, that fight's not going to happen. Then I went up to 55, and I'm just reaching the point. I'm at the point in my career where I want to fight Clay Guida. I want to fight that old dog legend, super popular, super crazy, super wild. I want to fight that. And one more win, that's not going to be an option. If I go beat Islam Makhachev, they're not going to give me Clay Guida ever, right? So I'm at the point where I can get a legend like Clay Guida, but if I have one more big win, it's not going to happen. So I want to do it now, and then I'll chase the big names and the Diego Fajedas and the whatever you want to talk about. But these guys on the internet telling me what I should do with my career, they can all go fall off a cliff, because I got here without their help, and then without their advice, I'm going to stay here without their help and without their advice.
There you go. Well, you know what? I'm sold, man. Let's make it happen. The Clay Guida fight, I'd love to see it. I know the fans would love to see it. It'd be a fan-friendly fight. And who doesn't like the Carpenter style? He always comes in and brings it. It would be fireworks, no doubt about it. Look, Grant, congratulations, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Huge win. You deserve all of it. Before I let you go, tell people where to find you on social media. And if you have anyone you want to thank, the floor is yours.
Real quick, guys, the only thing that I really want to say is I did something new this fight camp. What I did was I started a YouTube channel, and it's called KGD-TV. And I pretty much just documented my entire 7-week fight camp. There's 7 videos out, one for each week of my fight camp. There's a lot of great content on there. There's a lot of what I'm doing, who I'm training with, what I'm eating, and a little bit of my home life. So if you guys can go check that out, give it a like and subscribe and a share, that would mean the world to me, and I would really appreciate it. So thanks again for having me on the show, man.
Hey, always a pleasure, dude. Look forward to talking with you again soon.
Can't wait.
All right. See you, bud.
Bye.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.